Emma, sexually assaulted at age 7 and 8, raped at age 9, gang raped and sexually assaulted at age 13. I don't remember much of my life before I was sexually abused. It seems to have been my whole life. I didn't really discover what had happened was wrong until I was 17. That year was a disaster. I don't remember much of it, but I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, severe anxiety, chronic depression, and suicidal tendencies, and 3 attempted suicides. I completely failed my TE exams, and I couldn't get into the university course I wanted to, and still haven't. It was as if I was being punished for my childhood, as if it was all my own fault. I still struggle with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I'm heavily medicated and have severe trust issues.
Frank, 52 years old, 2009. I am a victim of an assault. My neighbor, who is fueled with hate, who loves hurting others, lives off the fear factor he creates. He tried to kill me on 2 occasions, causing me serious injuries. Being a victim of a serious crime, coping with all the emotional and the physical consequences of being seriously hurt, being abused and harassed for over 10 years in our own home, where one should feel safe, is very hard to deal with. On top of that, being victimized again with the elements, manipulating, ignoring the facts, twisting and corrupting the evidence, the words, using all the weaknesses the system has, hurts even more. To enter our home armed, with an intention to kill and hurt, hitting me in the head on the first occasion with a pickaxe handle, then 6 years later punching a hole on my head with a huge maglite torch, just missing the brain, breaking the bones, causing difficulties to my mental and physical capacity to think and contribute, should be considered a very, very serious crime. Well, it isn't. How can I and my wife feel safe in our home ever again?
Melissa, age 46, in 2003. And that's when I stopped smiling and stopped trusting people. I suffer now from post-traumatic stress disorder, and everything I was taught to believe in, such as the police and the court system, it went down the drain. They couldn't protect me from this monster. This man threatened to execute me if I wanted to leave the really bad relationship I was in, and if I wanted to take my son. I tried to leave, so he raped me. He raped me 5 times, once in a room next to where my son was sleeping. But I couldn't scream out, I couldn't cry, I couldn't do a thing. I just felt horrible, I felt dirty, I felt like my world was falling apart. And when I did try to speak to a sexual assault caseworker, she didn't even take it in. It was almost like it just didn't happen. It was just the worst feeling. And going to the court system, it was even worse. And watching this abuser continue to abuse made me feel absolutely sick. I will continue to try and get my message heard so that my son will realise one day that I was a fantastic mum, and that this is what mums do to make sure that their children are safe. And it was my only option, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry that I had to go through all of this. It makes me sick and my life has changed forever. But as a mum, I will never stop trying to get my message heard, and I will certainly never stop loving my son. And one day my son will realise what really happened and why his mum is not with him now.
Anne, 24 years old, 1994. Shot and sole survivor of a murder-suicide perpetrated by my estranged husband. Having lost my 2 children and my right leg, life was totally different. Simple questions like, are you married or do you have children, became confronting and hard to answer. Everyday things like walking, working and housework changed forever. Being judged was by far one of the hardest things to deal with.